Colleagues, World Refugee Day is June 20th. It is a day to honor the courage of people forced to flee conflict and reflect on how we address displacement around the world. Among these many displacement crises today, Sudan is the most severe. More than 13 million people in Sudan have been forced from their homes, either within the country or across its borders. That is 13 million people seeking refuge, separated from families and communities. It is children out of school, often malnourished and traumatized. It is parents making impossible choices to try to keep their families alive. Imagine every person west of Ontario, uprooted and unable to go home. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Everyone, every citizen displaced. But this is so much more than displacement. El-Fasher endured more than a year and a half of siege before it fell. The United Nations estimated that about 260,000 people were in the city before the takeover. Yet by January, fewer than 35,000 people had been recorded as reaching relative safety. That gap is horrifying to me. More than 225,000 people remain uncounted. Sudan is the most severe example, but I could also speak about Gaza, Haiti, Cuba. I could point you to Myanmar, Democratic Republic of Congo, Yemen, Afghanistan, and of course, Ukraine. Across the world, people are fleeing war, hunger, and instability. Colleagues, this World Refugee Day, I ask you to challenge dehumanizing rhetoric, to speak out, to remind people that refugees do not choose displacement. They are forced to flee. I ask you to speak up in defense of humanitarian access, to demand accountability for those attacking hospitals, water systems, and aid workers. Colleagues, Canada must not become invisible when we are needed most. Our humanitarian organizations are already on the front lines, and we should start by listening to them, backing their work, and carrying their warnings into Canada's foreign policy review. Sudan cannot be allowed to fade from view, and Canadians have a simple way to say, we have not forgotten. Through World Vision Canada's Speak Up for Sudan initiative, Canadians can call 1-877-25-RESPOND. I will repeat that like a commercial, 1-877-25-RESPOND, to lend their voices to children and families caught in this crisis. It matters to speak up in times like this because we are all part of humanity. Thank you. Merci. Marcy Muggli.